Hey everybody, welcome to Tour de Cons. I am Rob Southgate from Southgate Media Group, and I am here talking to Mike Armstrong from C2E2. It's coming up this weekend. I wanted to promote it a little bit. It's a great con, and kind of give you a heads up as to some of the cool things that are going to be happening at it. Here you go. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Mike Armstrong. I'm the event director at ReedPop, and I oversee our North American comic convention business. So that means I'm in charge of C2E2, which is this weekend in Chicago, New York Comic-Con in October, Keystone Comic-Con, which we just launched, which is coming in September in Philadelphia, and then Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle. So I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I've been lucky to be a part of some shows that have grown exponentially over the years, and just getting I love having such a connection to the industry and the fans and all of our exhibitors and publishers, and it's been a fun ride for the last 9 years.
Well, Mike, I got to tell you, your cons are awesome. We have covered, with Tour de Cons, we've covered New York Comic Con and Emerald City. From our network, we have a ton of podcasters and bloggers that attend all of those. And as somebody who's been to C2E2 multiple times, I can tell you it's one of the best out there. We look forward to it every year. In fact, we are jacked up for this weekend.
Yeah, us too. And I'm glad to hear that about C2E2 because, New York Comic Con was started 12, 13 years ago before a lot of us on the ReedPop team now were around. But I was part of the team that launched C2E2. So I've got this sense of ownership of this show, and a lot of our team does. So it's one of the most fulfilling shows that we do because we've been doing it since it started and seeing it grow to over 85,000 fans last year and hoping to break that this year. It's a testament to the community here. Chicago's got a great network of creators and retailers, and I think that they do a great job of fostering the community year round. And then a convention like C2E2 is the best place to take that one step further when it rolls around in spring.
One thing I'll tell you about C2E2 that does set it apart, one of the ways that you guys have marketed it is that it's kind of the hometown Comic-Con. It's kind of a home brew. And I got to tell you, man, it has that feel. Even now, this many years into it, it feels like old home week when we get there. We feel so connected to everybody. Like these are our Midwest peeps at this thing. It's not like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's got a very different feel than the other Comic-Cons that we go to. And I also want to say that New York Comic-Con, as somebody who has writers and artists that go to all of these, New York is one that they every time tell me, man, you got to get out here. This is literally like top 3 ever. You got to come to New York, got to come to C2E2, got to come to Emerald City. So kudos to you, man. You really are knocking it out of the park with that.
Oh, that's nice to hear you say. And I think the one thing we've been able to do really well with both C2E2 and New York is that, this is a business, but, so shows need to grow every year. But we do a really good job, in my mind, of keeping the shows feeling like somebody's hometown show and making it feel like a local show. Even despite the growth that's required. And, New York Comic Con is 227,000 people over 4 days, which is insane. But it's, people who've been going to that show for 12 years. It's still their hometown show. And it was their show when they went, when the fire marshal shut it down year one, when there were 15,000 people in a hall that fit 10. It's still that kind of show. But, despite the growth that we've had with increased attention from movie and TV studios and comic publishers, despite all that growth, it still feels like something that people want to attend every year because it's their show.
Yeah. Hey, as long as I got you on the phone, can you validate my parking when I'm at New York Comic Con? Is that? No, I'm kidding.
Parking at New York Comic Con is no joke, man. I don't know if I can help you out.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this weekend, we've got C2E2 coming up this weekend. It's at McCormick Place. What are some of the highlights? What are the things that since I'm going 3 days, what are the things I really want to hit?
Well, I mean, there's something for everybody. If you're a comics guy, I'll put my foot on the ground and say that this is the best show for comics in the country. If you look at our show floor, we've got every major comic publisher: Marvel, DC, Image, IDW, Boom, Valiant, Lion Forge, everybody. And they bring talent, they bring exclusives, and they bring incredible creators. And we really wanted to make us put our stamp on this with great comic talent. And this year, Mark Millar is coming over from Scotland. He doesn't do a lot of shows in the U.S. and it's his first actual convention signing appearance in about 8 years. So he's coming to promote his new line of comics from Netflix and his book, The Magic Order, that comes out in June. And then we've got him paired on stage for a panel with Brian Michael Bendis, who, as everyone knows, is now at DC and is relaunching Justice League, and like just a cool panel of guys who worked on those old Marvel Civil War books, and getting them together on stage for the first time in years is something that, as a comics guy, I'm super excited for. And then Jim Lee is coming on Friday as part of the DC booth and doing a quick signing, but he's here nonetheless. So I'll contend that this is an amazing show if you are a hardcore comics fan. But if you're not and you're just getting into it and you've seen the Marvel movies and that kind of stuff, or if you're a wrestling fan, Dave Bautista's here from Guardians of the Galaxy and WWE fame. And then if you're not a fan of comics or Marvel movies at all, but you just love a good tearjerker on TV, then Milo Ventimiglia and Justin Hartley from This Is Us are here, and both have their own geek creds. Justin Hartley was the original Green Arrow on Smallville, and Milo, obviously, from Heroes. But just an incredible guest list, both from the entertainment guest list side and from the comic side. So there's really something for everybody here at C2E2.
I'll tell you one of the things that really gets me, and this is the thing that I'm most excited for this weekend. Your Artist Alley area rocks the house.
Yeah, it's so good.
I mean, that's what the cons are all about for me. And one thing that I get really bummed out about when I go to certain cons, I feel like the Artist Alley is kind of dwindling, or it's a lot of people that these aren't comic creators. These are guys that are just, they're just trying to make a buck, and it feels like they should be a vendor. Whereas when I come to C2E2, like, I'll give you an example. I walked through there the one time, went to one booth. I'm talking to the creators of Chew, which I love. I go to the next one. I'm talking to what's his name? Peterson. I think I got his name right. From Mouse Guard.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the guy that writes and draws Mouse Guard. And then I go a couple down. There's Bill Wilmington from Fables. And then Art Baltazar from, Oh Yeah. And I'm like, this is amazing. These aren't like Bush League people.
No.
And then you've got like indie people that are incredible, like, the Satrin sisters or Gene Ha. I think he's going to be at Lion Forge this weekend. These are incredible people.
It's always been such a focus of ours. Artist Alley is just the best place to any show for just discovery. And for a lot of people, that's what these shows are about. They want to come, they know what they like, but they want to walk around and find something new. They want to find a new fandom.
Wow.
And Artist Alley at C2E2, I think we're going to have around 450 artists, which makes it one of the biggest ones in the country. We just did Emerald City last month, and that was just over 500 artists, which I think makes that the biggest in the U.S. But C2E2 is right behind it. And, we get, you can't, not anybody can just come and buy an Artist Alley table. You've got to go through a submission process. Our team looks at every submission and determines whether or not we think you'd be a good fit for C2E2. So you don't see the print walls that you see at a lot of other shows, and you don't see the kind of bootleg reproduction stuff that you see at a lot of other shows. It's really a point of pride for us, making sure that we've got the best creators, and even some creators that might not be known to everybody, but we think have really interesting stuff that's going to appeal to the fans that come to C2E2.
I think everything you said there is very true. As somebody who haunts Artist Alley, who really cares about that, C2E2 is the one that nails it for me. So I think that is definitely a focus. And anyone going, get your butt into Artist Alley and spend some time, meet these people, because it's really the best thing. So panels. That's
where you'll find me. That's the only place that I do my shopping at C2E2, and it's always the first thing I need to do Friday morning when we open. I got to go buy my few books from Ryan Brown, who does God Save the Astronaut.
Oh my God, I love that book. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so good.
It's funny because I went up to his booth at C2E2 last year, and I was standing right in front of it, and all of a sudden I look up and I see his sign, and I'm like, oh, God Hates Astronauts. Nicest guy in the world. Starts talking to me. He's like, oh, you like my book? Like, as if I'm the first person that ever discovered it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, he's one of the guys who, we talk about, like really developing a career. Like, I remember C2E2 maybe year 1 or 2. Not a lot of people knew Ryan, and he was one of the guys that we got into Artist Alley to, what I was talking about before, like maybe not well known right now, but like just an incredible opportunity for discovery. Yeah. And, you've seen that guy's career develop over the last 8 years where, he's writing books for Image, or he's drawing books for Image, and God Hates Astronauts is on another Kickstarter right now for another 80-page hardcover, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, me too.
But that's that's what these shows are about. They're about letting talent develop a fan base and connect with their audiences and really further their careers.
Oh, very cool. So what panels have we got coming up that you want to highlight?
Well, we've got the Bendis and Millar panel, which I'm stoked for. I might sneak into the back of that. I'm a big punk rock guy, and Henry Rollins.
Yeah, I know.
Doing a spoken word thing.
Yeah.
Tickets sold out quick, so that's something I'm going to need to stand in the back of the room for. But I was a huge Black Flag fan, and he's in he's got a role in Deadly Class, which is the new book, or the new show coming from Sci-Fi, I think, is doing that show. So he's got a role in that. So there's a little bit of a comic connection there. I'll probably be in the This Is Us panel just because my wife wants to see pictures of Milo and Justin, so I'll have to do that. And then our big thing Saturday night is the Crown Championships of Cosplay. So Repop does 50 shows around the world each year, and every show we do a big cosplay competition. So for our bigger events, India, Australia, Vienna, Paris, we fly the winners from those contests over, and they compete in Chicago for the World Championships. I'm not a huge cosplay guy, but seeing the pop from the audience when people come out and just seeing the excitement around just kind of the technical aspects of cosplay is something that I have grown to love over the few years that we've been doing that. So those are the three on my hit list, but I encourage everybody to check out C2E2.com or download the mobile app because there's a ton of great stuff in there.
I can tell you your World Championship of Cosplay is a major event. I'm friends with Monica Gonzalez from Geeks A Go-Go, and oh my gosh, she talks up your cosplay like you can't believe. So I know that's a major, major thing. So, and as somebody who doesn't do cosplay, I love going to C2E2 where I can see all those costumes, get pictures of people. You know, as long as you got consent, everybody's super cool about that. So,
yes. Good point.
Yeah, this weekend, C2E2, McCormick Place. Got to be there. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, I got a question about Sunday. What's the situation with kids?
So kids 12 and under, it's a $10 ticket. And then even if you aren't coming on Sunday, we've got a 3-day kids ticket that's $20. So if you want to bring them Saturday and Sunday, I would recommend the 3-day ticket because while Sunday might be the day that we focus most of our kids programming on, there's a ton of stuff to see and do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday too. So I'm not advocating pulling your kids out of school. I think it's spring break for a lot of people. So if you want to hit C2E2 up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's a cheap $20 ticket for 3 days of fun. And then Saturday, kids 6 and under are free, and then 12 to between 6 and 12 are the $10 ticket. And there's great content all throughout the day. Our Family HQ area's got like presentations, and R.L. Stein is here, and Raina Telmeyer from the Smile and Drama series that's big with middle schoolers. So we've got a lot of content that's focused specifically for kids too.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being on. We will definitely be doing a recap of C2E2. In fact, so that you are aware, I do another show called This Week in Geek, and we made a plan the other day. The three of us are going to be there this weekend from that show, and we're going to do live Facebook updates from the floor as we go along, since we kind of know so many people in Artist Alley and even in the celebrity area. We're going to be capturing a lot of that and trying to share that. So we're doing everything we can to promote C2E2. We love it. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
I love it too. And thank you for your support. And if I see you on the floor, I'm happy to jump on one of those Facebook Lives so I can give you some updates as the weekend goes on.
Well, that's it. C2E2 is an awesome show. If you get a chance to make it, you will not be disappointed. If you can't make it, we will be doing live updates on Facebook Live from the This Week in Geek Facebook page. So go to the page, watch those updates. I'm going to try and capture Mike. I'm going to try and capture a bunch of people in Artist Alley. It's going to be a really good time. You can also follow Tour de Cons on Twitter at Tour, TOURDECONS, Tour de Cons. And we will post updates as to shows that we're at and panels we're doing and just all the fun stuff around cons that we run into. You can also subscribe to this wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher. Just subscribe and you will get the updates as these shows post. We do post panels. We do post interviews. We have lots of really cool content on there now and definitely coming in the future. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you at the cons.